Film Rage presents Verbal Masturbation with Bryce and Jim. This week we're talking to Métis writer, director, producer, and musician Daniel Foreman. The man does it all!
Welcome, Daniel, and thank you for coming all the way from Edmonton to join us on Film Rage. And we hope that you're comfortable and you're gonna have a good time. We're here to make you laugh and just ask you some tough questions that you may not be able to answer.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks. So we play a game when we do interviews with directors. It's a little bit of a icebreaker, as Bryce was mentioning a little earlier. So I'm going to ask you a question that is an or. It's one thing or the other. And all you have to do is choose which one you choose over the other one.
Okay.
All right? So, the Rush or the Oilers?
I'm not sure who the Rush is.
That's the lacrosse team. You didn't know.
It would be the Oilers.
All right, there you go. So you could have just said the Oilers. I don't know who the fuck these guys are. Like, we're choosing the Oilers. Okay, good. So you haven't gone and seen any lacrosse games, is what I'm catching.
No.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Now I may know the answer to this one already, because I did do a little bit of reading about you.
Okay.
But Cookie Monster or Oscar?
It would be Cookie Monster.
There you go.
I was in New York helping with Sesame Street a little bit, so.
I did know that. That's why. Nice. Who doesn't know Cookie? Okay. I also have a feeling you've done a bit of animation too, so I'm going to ask you: South Park or Futurama?
I would be South Park.
Okay. Nice. See, we're gonna have so much fun tonight. Greenland or Iceland?
Ooh. I would have to say Iceland.
Okay. He likes the vodka just like me. Okay. Brandon Cronenberg or Cody Callahan? Now, for those listening, if you don't know, Brandon Cronenberg, the son of David Cronenberg, directed Antiviral and also the film Possessor of last year. Cody Callahan did Vicious Fun and The Oak Room and also Antisocial.
I would have to say Cronenberg.
Nice.
That is, I won't say that's the correct answer, but they're
both
correct.
Brandon Cronenberg might be a little more correct.
We're a little bit of fanboy over the Cronenberg family. So
I was actually about 40 feet away from Cronenberg and
Papa Cronenberg or Baby Cronenberg?
Papa Cronenberg.
Nice.
Did you touch his cloak?
No, I wasn't close enough, but it was very close.
Nice. Did he look your way?
Yeah.
Did you give him one of these? Give him the wink and say, "Hey, you and me."
Being in
Nice.
Cannes was it was amazing.
Oh,
Like it was like amazing. And I don't know if I'm gonna ever be able to replicate that.
ever in your life?
No, it was.
Well,
it was one of those things.
You'll go back, man.
And I'm like, no bullshit. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to do that again.
You'll go back.
I will, but
You're young.
to be there like with him in 20 feet with Vigo and everybody else.
Yeah.
That's one of those things it's a once in a lifetime experience.
Nice. Yeah, did you get some pictures?
Well, when you're that far away,
And your camera only
looks a lot longer.
it does, and you can like go over top,
Yeah.
but you're not there.
It's like that little speck over there.
there,
That was
yeah.
Cronenberg.
Yeah.
He's like, this damn phone does not zoom far enough. It's got like a 5-time zoom. That's it.
It doesn't. But it was amazing.
So we were lucky enough to get a chance to watch your film
Thank you
ahead
so
of time,
much.
and the film covers a lot of challenges that the First Nations and Métis people have faced and is still facing How important is it to you to tell the Métis and First Nations stories?
Well, it's a big question. I've been working on the script for about 10 years, so that'll give you a little bit of an answer on it. It's hard. I mean, there's been, where I grabbed this story from is because there's been a killer that's been hunting at-risk women for probably about 30, 40 years. And that's where I grabbed this story from. It's hard. I don't know. That's the biggest thing. I guess it's a very hard story to do.
It's a passion project. What I'm hearing.
It is a passion project, and the police don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And
the RCMP. I'm gonna tell a secret here. You guys ready?
This may be not a secret, but let's hear it.
They're pretty sure it's a police officer.
Are you kidding me? Oh.
There's somebody that's, yeah, because they understand that when you kill somebody, like when you don't get evidence for 3 or 4 years, they know what they're doing.
And this problem isn't one that is isolated. This is now.
Well, I don't know that. I just know in Edmonton and Alberta that there's been certain people that have been taking advantage of the situation.
Yes.
That's my perspective. I cannot speak for everything else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that from my perspective.
Yeah. I mean, across Canada, it's happening to Indigenous people all across Canada.
Yes. But in Alberta, like I can just talk about
the story,
my perspective and my understanding of the situation.
So are you gonna continue on with telling more Indigenous stories? This is your first feature.
Yeah. Well, I've been making Indigenous stories for quite some time.
Yep. Oh, and yeah, we a lot of shorts. Yeah.
But making a feature is when you jump into the big people's game. It's like. I tell a friend of mine, is like, you got to put the big person's pants on. All of a sudden, you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars rather than doing $10,000.
Yeah. So on that note, this is your first feature. What challenges did you have going from shorts to your first feature?
Well, mainly the amount of money.
Yeah.
Mainly the amount of money, and there's a lot of politics involved. And not everybody wants to know these kind of stories.
We do. We want our listeners to know these stories.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying that there's a fair amount of politics that go into this kind of thing.
Are you meaning like politics about the content, or politics about actually making that feature film?
Politics about making the feature film.
Okay. And funding was the biggest driver, you think, for that? Like, you had the support in other ways, but the funding was the biggest barrier, you would say?
Let me think about this for a second. I would say that there is a lot of barriers to making a feature film.
Just in general,
regardless if you're Indigenous or regardless if you're whoever, to make a feature film, like, you really have to want it. And this is important, and I'm gonna say this right now, is that we were the second feature film, or whatever you want to call it, in 2020, because of COVID. There wasn't anything happening.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was looking at us, and they were curious to see if we were going to catch COVID and everything was going to go to hell or whatever. And we didn't. We were able to make a movie, and we won. We kind of won that way.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a big struggle.
And who was your biggest supporter through that?
Well, was an actor, I'll tell you that much. It was probably my production partner, Charlene Malang.
Okay. You know what? It's having that person in your back corner, that one person can sometimes make a huge difference, right? To help to give you that drive.
There was no vaccine when we started off. Like, there was nothing, and we still did it.
And was it? Did you keep a tight group in the filming through the whole time, and sort of did the whole self-isolation together as a team, and basically move the project forward together as one team?
That's pretty close to what it was. I mean, the photographer that we worked with, we'd worked with on this feature for about a year, and he understood what we were going to do. So he was able to grab his team, and we grabbed the sound people, we grabbed the photography people, and we grabbed the actors. But honest to God, there was no vaccines, like there was nothing.
So it's just like trying to figure it out as you go.
Oh yeah, and if someone would have caught it, we'd have been dead.
Yeah,
like dead in the water.
Well, kudos, man. Like it's a huge win. Like
it
that's
was,
a huge win.
It was, and I'm proud of that. But it was hard. Like it drained. I tell people sometimes like this, like it took part of my soul, like part of my life.
Yeah.
To make that movie.
Well, and then you got to be pretty proud of what you did, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's good.
All good.
It's good message. Obviously the director and writer, but also you're a musician, I understand.
I am indeed.
Now, when you look at IMDb, there's nothing in there that says really who wrote the music in the film. Was that written by you or no?
No.
Okay.
No, we grabbed some people, Grammy Award winners, and the Grammy Award winners were that was our biggest kill on that one.
So is it friends that you kind of grabbed, or was it just
people liked the movie and they gravitated towards it.
And you were able to attract it based on the message and what you were doing.
Yeah, and they watched it and they got it. Very fortunate.
That's awesome. Yeah, the music stands out in the film.
Thank you for because not everybody gets that.
We get everything, actually. That's probably one of our biggest weaknesses. We get too much.
So a lot of Abducted takes place in nature, with many scenes at night. What's your secret to making these scenes look as good as they did? Because we've seen a lot of movies that can't get that type of environment right.
Yeah, of all films, it's probably the best night shots of any film we've seen in the last 3 years.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
There's two things. There is the camera that we use with the Sony FX9, which has a huge sensor, and the LED lighting. I was super scared to shoot at night.
And rightly so.
But because most of the time it's dark, it looks like shit.
It looks terrible.
It looks terrible. And you didn't do that. That is not this film.
Yeah. So we took a lot of time, and we used to use the HMIs. I don't know if you guys know what HMIs are. HMIs were these big, huge lights that you would stick on top of this big pole.
Right.
And it was this enormous bright light that would come down.
Just flood everything.
Yeah. But with the way technology has happened, is that you don't have to do that anymore. You can grab these LED lights that have the same kind of power, but they're much more compact and they don't take very much energy. And then with the camera that we had, which I've mentioned before, the Sony FX9, we were able to capture things that we never should have captured.
No, it looked great.
Yeah, it was amazing. You guys did a great job.
So the way that it worked, we did the outside shots on a lake, and then on the inside shots we did it inside of a pool, and we were able to mesh them together.
Yeah, and the forest shots too were everything. Anything that was at night, it was like
Yeah, we cheated everything.
nice. Well, you know what? That's
As long as the audience doesn't know you cheated, you're
that's
done
right.
good.
We just told everybody you cheated, but they didn't know that when they were watching it.
Yeah. No, it was. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of what we did.
So, tell us a little story about the Easter egg in the movie. There's a poster of the short you did, a Raven song.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about.
Just sneak that in.
How did you think? Did you think? Okay, remember when I told you we know everything? And it was like, you don't think we weren't going to miss that as we're watching? He's like, did you see that? I'm like, I saw that. Tell us a little story about that and what happened with all that.
Okay. Well, in that shot, how can I say the best way? We had done a short film back in 2015, which was kind of a trailer for this movie.
Oh.
Which I didn't realize at that point, but we had shot in a church in Edmonton, and I always had this vision of this girl gang, that they were really like vicious and angry, and they were just gonna kill everybody. And I brought that into this movie, and I wanted it to be really important that people knew that this thing was happening. It's interesting that you found that. I didn't think anybody was gonna catch that.
You can go like this anytime. It's okay. Oh, listeners, this is what we do. We find stuff out about people.
But yeah, actually that's my TV show. I'm working on a TV show called Daughters of the Wolf right now. And it's about this all-girl gang. And it's from that show.
You know, there's those sprinklings, right? That if maybe for some people it's going to be subliminal, but hopefully other people will go, I don't know what that is. I want to know what that is. And they might, when it comes out and people can buy copies of this, right? And they want to, what's that? And they'll pause on it. What's that? Because there's geeks that are going to do that, right?
I'm surprised you guys got that. No, I am, because that is an Easter egg. That's just something that, and there's pictures of some of my books that I wrote.
We didn't catch that.
Yeah, we didn't catch the book.
That's in the bedroom scene with the mom.
Yes.
When she won't look at
I know where the books are now, but I didn't see we couldn't zoom in.
Yeah, we were watching it on a pretty big TV.
It was big, but not that big. And we couldn't pause it.
I am impressed.
Well, thanks.
Very impressed.
We do our homework. So now you talked a little bit about obviously barriers and that change in dynamics of going from short to feature. Mm-hmm. How hard was it to get the money for this? Because and are you comfortable talking about what the budget was?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it was $375.
Yep.
I've been coming from a place about $125,000 an episode. It sounds like a lot, but it's not.
Mm.
It's shit.
Yep.
Really, it's shit. But with this, the main reason why this looks as good as it does is because of Stephen McMichael. And he's a major player in Hollywood, and his wife liked the script, and she came. She said that you need to do it. She didn't come with us because I wanted her to come with us, Leslie McMichael, but she wouldn't do it. But she got her husband to do it.
Hey, as long as one of the McMichaels is showing up, right?
Yeah, and he's an awesome. I mean, he's a zero bullshit guy, and it's just like this is what you're gonna do this. Yes, so we're gonna do this right now, like this. And I was just like, fucking A. And that's the way I work. Like, there's zero bullshit.
Yeah.
Make it happen, and we're gonna do this.
Get her done.
Yeah, get her done. Yeah.
And so, does it take long to raise that kind of capital? Or, because, the big, people always assume that, you do the shoot, and that's all your money. But that's only part of the money, because then there's the aftermath, right? After the shooting. And sometimes that's where a lot of films get kind of caught up.
They die.
Yeah,
in
they die
post-production.
in post. So, yeah.
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So I'm like, that is not a lot of money to make that film. So
it's like a zero to make a good movie is like $375,000 is nothing.
yeah,
We were fortunate.
because you had, sounds like you had a pretty strong team that was just like, we're in this together, right? We're just gonna get it done,
Get it done. Yeah.
and away you go.
I bring everybody like family. That's the way I like to do things. And I like just like I love like Charlene, my production. I love her like to death. And I love Steve and his wife. Leslie is they're like family to me. So
Does that mean you're going to be working with them on your next project?
well, if we can make it work. It's all money based.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yep. I know. We see that a lot. Some of our favorite movies. They've been wanting to do their next project, and they're sitting there waiting on their hands, waiting for the money, right? So.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Tell us about the Edmonton Short Film Festival and how you got involved with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's our 10th year.
Yep.
Me and Charlene started this thing off in 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. We were very fortunate that there was a lot of people that didn't get into the Edmonton International Film Festival, IFE. So they were looking for local things, and that's where we came in. And we were looking for people that needed something that would be, what's a good way to say this? Have any of you guys, you included, sir, that you've made a film and that no one will play it in your community?
I hear that story a lot.
Yeah, and that's where we were coming from. So we decided to make this film festival that we would take all these people in Edmonton that weren't getting a chance to be screened.
Give them an outlet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
including us.
Yeah.
It was semi-selfish.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we weren't
hey.
getting the opportunity, and we had good films, and I knew there was a lot of other good people having really good films. So that's where it started, and all of a sudden I'm dealing with the showrunner from Sam Rockwell's company in New York, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to talk to me?" No, I was. No, I'm dead serious. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you sure? Like, you should be talking to Ife." And he's like, "Nope, I want to talk to you." And I was just like,
Well, and
fucking A. Like, I was like, fucking you, man. Like,
yeah, you want to talk to me.
yeah,
You should be talking to me.
yeah. But that's where it started. And that's the kind of vibe that we have. It's just like, we're not inclusive or exclusive or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You know, and it's interesting you say that, because we just participated last week in the Calgary Black Film Festival, and it's a little bit of a similar story to the creator of that, which actually started in Montreal. And she was like, I wasn't getting anybody that would program our stuff, so I built a festival. And then how successful it is, and how successful, I mean, the Edmonton Shorts Film Festival is so well respected, and you think of, that's all you're doing is focusing on those shorts, which is really that stepping stone to features, right? And if people aren't getting that opportunity to go in and be able to get their experience and their vision out there, then creativity dies at the grassroots level. So kudos to you for doing that. And you know, we know here in Calgary we have two very big film festivals, and they only have so much space. And SIF, yeah. And SIF is actually registered as part of Oscar, right? So the shorts that get into to sift.
Same as I.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying for you. Are you in the same status now with the Shorts Festival in Edmonton? But that's kind of the next step for you, right? Once you get that step, and if you get people coming to you now and saying, I want to talk to you, right? Those are the steps that will get you to the same place.
Well, I'll tell you what our next thing is to grab distributors and to grab, basically distributors. We need, unfortunately, that IFE doesn't, they're not supporting, I have to be careful how I say this.
Yeah. Come on, put your political pants on.
What we're doing is we want to have a lot of people that come to the festival that are going to represent independent filmmakers.
That's a tough go, and I've seen it from experience. I know Tony's been doing programming. For those listening, you're not hearing Tony, but he's doing the engineering for us here. And
Tony says something.
say hi, buddy.
I gotta wait for my mic to unmute.
Nice. And programming is not an easy task, and when you start getting into bed with those houses, sometimes it's like, well, you can have this film, but you got to take these 5 films you may not want to program. So it's that thin line where you have to decide, do I want to stay grassroots and get the best grassroots that's out there, or do you want to get?
I hear you, brother.
Yeah,
I hear you.
yeah. So I'm excited to see what you guys end up doing.
Well, this next year, it's our 10th year, and ultimately, what we're about is elevating Alberta filmmakers.
Yep.
That's what we're about. But there is politics involved with that.
Period.
Full stop.
There's those political big pants you just
But
put on.
I want everybody to do well.
Yeah.
I can say that. You can take that to the bank, as I want everybody to do well.
If only you could cash that check.
So you've worked with live actors and animation.
Yes.
Are you going to continue to do both mediums, or do you prefer one over the other? Still going to do some animation?
I love animation.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. Even 2D animation is very, very expensive. We looked at 3D. You're looking at 3D animation. Really good 3D animation is about $100,000 a minute. Yeah.
I was not aware.
So budget.
Yeah. So and I love 2D. I mean, I grew up with Roadrunner and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and you can do that under the gun. You can do about 15,000 a minute, but it's still 15.
Yeah.
I mean,
it adds up
go
quick.
try to make that money. I mean, it's hard. Man.
Yep. Unless you're doing it by yourself, you get your kids to do the art and click, move the picture, click.
Do it South Park style.
Yeah, do it South Park style.
Yeah, I love South Park, but that's a different kind of.
Yeah, no, I know now. It's way different. So you had some learning, I would say, with Fava, I guess, back in the day.
Oh, Fava, I've been there since 2005, I think.
And tell some of our listeners, or tell all our listeners, why not tell them all? Tell us a little bit about that program, and if you think the value's there for people to get involved with it.
Well, Fava is one of the, I think, if not the most fundamental filmmaking places that you can learn in Edmonton. And they combine animation, they combine film, they combine community. It has made me who I am.
Nice.
Honestly. When I started off in film, so I was shooting Super 16. And I had the big strips.
Yeah.
And I had the reel-to-reel, and I had sound reels, and and that's where I fell in love with film. But then when you go to digital, all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't have to do all this stuff. I can just cheat everything.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to do it digitally. Like way easier to do it digitally. But when you're learning how to cut things and you see these strips of film and you're putting it, you got a sound reel and you got a sound effects reel and you got a picture reel, it makes your brain work. Like, and I think that a lot of people, they don't understand that. If you don't do it that way and you don't understand how things fundamentally work, you kind of cheated a little bit.
Yeah. As a musician, right? You can't really understand digital unless you understand analog.
That's true.
Right? I mean, are you a musician too? Yeah, we're all musicians here, so we can jam later, maybe. I don't know.
We should. Who's got a bass? I will play bass.
Nice.
I will rock and roll with everybody.
Nice.
I can play drums too.
Let's party.
Not very well. But
I can do screamo really well too. So you've been doing film since 2007?
No.
Is that right?
Way
Earlier?
before that.
Okay, so that's
Probably 95.
Apparently my fact checking is terrible. So way before that.
I'm older than everybody.
Okay, so you're older than everyone here times 10.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
That doesn't. Oh, it means you have the wisdom of experience. Now we all know in Canada that independent filmmakers have a lifestyle of mansions, fancy cars, loads of dough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's
so. How easy is it to make a living in film industry in Canada? Because I don't know one filmmaker, and we know a lot of filmmakers. I don't know one that actually. I know lots that don't even have cars. So it's like tell us how easy it is for you to do what you're doing.
Or hard.
Yeah, or hard. Yeah, more likely hard.
Well, let me put it in Edmonton, because I'm from Edmonton. Calgary, you can. Who here is from Calgary? You're from Calgary?
We all are, yeah.
Okay, so you all can make money in craft, and when I say craft, do you understand what I'm saying?
Give us more explanation.
I would say like a craft services, so you might be able to make money being a camera assistant. Or
there's more film in the industry here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The focus, yeah.
In Edmonton, it's completely independent.
So everybody's in the same boat.
No. You can make a living in Calgary being in craft.
Yep.
Like in that thing. But in Edmonton, we don't have that. It's all indie.
Right.
We don't have major TV shows. We don't have major movies coming in. We don't have that.
Yeah.
So what we do in Edmonton is we create our own thing. But you have to have a day job to make that happen. But on the plus side is that you're being very creative.
Yeah.
And you're doing your own thing. You're not working for somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas in Calgary, and Vancouver is especially like this. You can work in film in Calgary or in Vancouver.
Yeah.
But you're not creating.
Yeah. I've met a lot of Montreal film directors as they come out and visit us out here too, and I hear it's obviously a little different in every city, right, where it is. But I hear a lot of them, they work in craft, as you say, and that's where they make their money. So that's kind of their day job, and then they do their special projects on the side
on the weekends.
Yeah,
that's where you do your passion projects.
Yeah. So
definitely a distinction between working and creating.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
But you have to pay for where you're gonna live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta eat. You gotta.
Yeah, and pay for your children, like your kids. I mean, your kids have to eat. And
kids are expensive.
Yes, they are.
And in Canada, so is heating, and apparently gas, gasoline to get from Edmonton to Calgary. So yeah, and when I was saying earlier about I meant like everybody's in the same boat in Edmonton, that they don't have the same benefits that you might have in a different city, right? Everybody's kind of in that same boat.
Well, we're in a different spot. You got to earn it in Edmonton.
It's respect once you've got it, right?
Well, it's hard. Like a good friend of mine, he was in Cannes, Dylan Pierce. He's made 12 feature films. 12. And he's under 40. And I'm just like, how the fuck
Did you do that? Yeah.
But he does it. But he puts his life on the line for a lot of those films.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like,
And I'm not ready to do that. I'm not giving up my house. Like,
yeah. So what's your day job then?
I'm a marketer. I do like e-commerce and design and stuff.
I just tried to link you on LinkedIn. I saw your page. I knew what you did. So when you pick up your phone
that
later,
made
you
me
might
laugh.
see me, and then I'll get this. What the fuck is this? I got blocked again.
So, who are your biggest influences, a writer and a director? Had to pick up.
We know you're loving the Cronenberg family, but
Oh, I love Cronenberg, but I would have to say Ridley Scott.
okay.
For me, Blade Runner. Blade Runner is
Ugh,
my favorite movie. It is my favorite movie by all time.
all time. What do you think of Blade Runner 2?
I love it. My friend fell asleep to it when we went and seen it.
What?
Did you?
The pacing. I'm a
Pacing was
director.
perfect.
No.
I loved it.
Well, you
like so-
liked it. You liked
I
it.
loved it.
Yeah.
No, and I love, but the pacing is. I'll tell you guys a secret as a director.
I love secrets.
First act is pretty easy to do. Second act is like you're talking 50 pages ish, and it's really hard to make it build and build and build and build and build and not put people to sleep. And in the second Blade Runner,
I was just letting the atmosphere wash over me, man. I was like, give me more of this.
No, it's an awesome movie. I love it. Like I own it, but it kind of fell apart. It's really hard to do a really good second act.
Yeah.
It's like really, really.
I would say
really
we
hard.
100%
We've had so many
agree.
conversations about that.
Yeah, we feel that, and actually, not even just the second half, but the last
I'm
quarter.
talking second act.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Second act. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking even the last quarter, things can just fall to shit.
Yeah. Sometimes we thought we were watching a good movie, and then the second act happened, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, we call that a rage sandwich on our podcast a little bit.
I-
Okay, so Ridley
I
Scott.
fell asleep to something.
Ridley Scott.
Yes.
Who else? Who? I mean, that's your favorite movie. What's your
John
second?
Hughes. John Hughes is
Okay.
enormous. I was looking at all the movies because I own a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I don't stream, and I don't watch TV.
Content.
Yes. But John Hughes he was, he could write a really good script in about 2-3 weeks. And
This isn't fair.
like, it is not. It's not. But and the way he said it is like I could type really fast, but he was able to take direction from the producers and whatever, and he would adapt to it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't take criticism very well, and they're just like, I'm not going to change this. This is my movie kind of thing, right?
Do you think he had got to keep his creative control when he was directing?
Yeah. Well, when you're that good,
Yeah.
like you're that good, there's very, very few writers. Like there's directors that are awesome. I'm trying to think of the guy that did.
What's the movie?
Titanic.
Oh, Cameron?
Cameron. He gets it. Like he understands it, and he will shift. He'll spend $1 million to do a scene, and just go, well, this scene didn't work. And he's like smart enough, and his ego is able to go, well, this didn't work. So I'm just gonna cut it, and I'm gonna do it. Like in Terminator 2, there's a really good scene. I don't know. Watch the behind the scenes, but it's Arnold, and Arnold did this really funny scene where his face was like, yeah, I can't. Oh, we're on radio. I can't. But he made fun of himself, and it should have been huge, but they cut it because it didn't work.
Yeah. For the scene.
It was
$1 million.
It was $1 million
cut.
scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
Friedkin does that too a lot. I'm a pretty big fan of Friedkin.
He's one of my favorite fucking directors.
Yeah,
and
and
writers ever.
he's the epitome of that. When he did The Exorcist, and they said, "Oh yeah, we've done all the score for you," and he listened to it, and I don't know how much money they paid for the score.
You know who that score was from?
No.
It is.
It'll come.
You guys are making my
He's
my memory.
I know he was a very famous conductor, but yeah, I didn't know who he was.
Lilo Schifrin. Schifrin. Who's one of my. I'm a musician, so like Lilo Schifrin.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's where if you've got that much power, right?
It's interesting you got that. That's a very good call because most people don't catch that shit.
I guess we're just awesome. I don't know. We're a little bit humble too. I don't know.
Maybe.
So that's actually it's come to I guess
Lilo
our formal.
Schifrin.
What's that?
Lilo Schifrin.
Say that 5 times fast.
Lilo Schifrin. He's a South American guy. He's awesome. He's probably one of my most favorite composers.
Nice.
Yes.
See? So that's the wrap up of our formal questions. Now, obviously, you may have things on your mind that we haven't asked you about that you want to say, like, fuck, they didn't even ask me about this or didn't ask me about that.
Well,
or
if you want to talk about music, because my whole journey of this guy, it's a blues journey. So I use a lot of blues music, a lot of blues music. And then we had one of the composers had won. He didn't win. Sorry, he was 3 times Emmy nominated, and then we had a Grammy winner for our music. But people don't really listen about like they think about that. It's just like, man, you know.
Music's
sounded good.
huge.
Yeah, music can change the whole tone of a film. Like it can destroy. We've
can
seen some
destroy a
movies
film,
that
too.
it's destroyed. Who is it? You'll probably remember this. Gretel and Hansel. You seen that film?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we saw that in cinema, and you remember the guy's name? It's like Chad or something like that. It's like it was like one name. The guy's name was. It was just like it was fucking mind blowing in cinemas. It was just like you could not have put anything else but that in the movie. And we have you seen Fried Berry? Okay, it's on Shudder. I know you don't stream, but you can buy Fried Berry content. And our buddy Ryan Kruger from South Africa, he directed that, and they had a specific composer for the music. And the same thing with that movie. If you get to see Fried Berry, I think you would like it actually. But the music is just it's part of the film. And actually, when we were watching it, both of us kind of said that about your film, right? It was like this is adding. It's like the pieces like that's so original. And it fits so well in that space that it's kind of like who the fuck wrote that? And then you go on IMDb later and it's like, thanks, buddy. It's a secret. Another one of your patented secrets.
Tell me something else.
What do you want me to tell you?
I will tell you. How many secrets can I tell you about
Tell
this
me
film?
as many as you got.
The music was huge. Huge.
So what are you most proud about for the film? Like, I know there's the film. Yay, the film's done. But once you watched it completed, fully edited, what was the thing that you said, man, I did that right, or I loved that? And it can be the message at the end. Because that was like the very last closing scene with the message was like,
And the music was there. I would have to say, the thing that I'm most proud about the whole film. There's one scene that we shot, and I think I mentioned this, and we did the 13 pages in one day. The actors. Like, I spent so much time with the actors beforehand. As a director, that's my job. And they were comfortable. Like, I gave them everything that they needed to know.
so you're saying the actors would be, or that one scene is what you're most proud of?
No, I would say the actors.
Okay.
It's because I spent a lot, as a director, my job is to make the actors as comfortable as they can be.
They have to, otherwise they're
Well,
on
it's not
edge.
going to work. And they're just going to leave, or they're going to get pissed off, and they're not going to give me a good performance. And they gave me everything.
Nothing left out. It's all there.
No, I'm proud of the performances that I got.
Sounds like you got a pretty tight team.
Yeah,
Right.
no, it was
Are you friends still with a lot of these people now?
I'm friends with everybody.
Nice. So the new project you're working on.
Daughters of the Wolf.
Yeah. When's that coming out? When can we expect that?
Well, doing a TV show is a lot more work than doing a movie.
Because it goes on for a long time?
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is create a franchise. And when I talk franchise, I mean, I want a TV show to go 3 or 4 seasons. So I'm not just talking one time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that. Like, it's hard. And to have a broadcaster say, hey, we're going to give you $1 million a year to do 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. And is that what you've got lined up now?
I'm working on it.
Oh, man. Go get them.
Yeah. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard. And I need to have the actors' trust. I need to have the producers. Well, I'm a producer, but I mean, like, the people that are giving the money, they need to trust me that this is what's going to happen, and you're going to do good.
So how long do you have to work on that?
Well, I'd say I got 2 years to make this happen.
Okay.
And then otherwise, you get stuck in development, and that's what happens with a lot of TV shows. You're stuck in development, and it's just like, well, great, I'm in development, but you're not going anywhere. You're just stuck in this loop.
Yep. So you've been busy writing then?
Yeah.
Or is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
How far in are you, Dale?
I'm pretty close.
For the full 3 years, or for the first year, or for the first...
No,
what?
we've been working on the first 3 years for probably 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have 3 years in the can ready to go.
Yeah.
You got the entire concept,
Yeah.
start to finish.
Yes.
You know how it's starting. You know how
Yeah.
it's ending.
Yeah.
Now we're making 3.
Yeah. But the trick is to do pilots.
Yeah.
Where everybody is like, it's my favorite show, and you guys may not agree with this, is The Sopranos. And it was like that is probably next to Rockford Files, which is the best pilot I've ever seen in my life. That's when you're nailed to the gun, and the studio just goes, you're gone. Here's your money, just go, because this is so fucking good. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's hard. I mean, to be that good, you have to be really, really good. And I'm working on that. I'm good. I know. I know I'm good. No, but there's being really good.
Yeah.
So do you reach out to get help to get that really good?
Oh,
or you
absolutely.
just keep...
Oh, absolutely. I've been working with story writers for probably the last 4 years.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah. No, I'm. You have to be humble. Like, I'm good to a point, but there's people that are a lot better than me.
But that can help you be the best.
Yeah.
You pick the right
That's
people.
the goal.
Yeah, you
that
pick
is
the right
goal.
people.
Absolutely.
I mean, I also agree that I am great, but with him, I wouldn't be half as great if I didn't have him, right? And I mean that. We joke. But yeah, you have the right people around you.
And you just keep building and
Yeah.
building and building and building. Like when I was in Cannes, and I seen like the top people, like top. We're talking Tom Cruise, who's made this film that is probably one of the best films that's been made in a long time. And they had all the money behind it. And it's just like, well, that's where they are. So where can I come from and make something?
Yeah. From the little old city of it.
And absolutely. Yeah. And everything's possible.
Yeah.
We are all talented people. How much money do we have?
Yeah, that's the key. Well, we really want to thank you for spending the time with us.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Tell our listeners where they can find you online, where you want them.
AbductedTheMovie.com and Treaty 6, and 6 is a number, treaty6.com.
Right on.
Perfect. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Well, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure, my friend.
Well, thank
Absolutely.
you. You gentlemen are doing something awesome, and I'm proud to be here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.